Hello and welcome to Action Sports Lakers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by our Laker insider Mike Bresnahan, and his name is Brian Kamenetsky. We call him BK.
Hi.
It's been a minute. Playoffs are here. We got to bring you in.
Well, they played, what have they played?
Top
46 games in the last 49 days or something. There's no time for people like me to come in.
Yeah, right. We're just saving the best for the best.
That's
moment.
right.
Best
now
time
we're
of
in
year.
the important time of the year.
Yeah. Good to see you.
You've been a busy man. Glad you can join us.
Yeah, thank you.
With your 17 jobs that you do, and here you are with us.
It's active. You know what it is like to have a very popular podcast.
I think you mean
a lot of
Allie.
demands on your time.
No, you do one too. It's called the Lake Show Podcast.
True.
It's coming out either later today or tomorrow.
Way to do one
Bress.
today.
Don't shortcut yourself. Good to see the both of you. As we dive right in, the Lakers now know who they will face off against on Saturday. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. If you haven't seen it, they locked up the 6th seed. The Warriors lost to the Clippers on Sunday. There's the bracket, 1 through 8. Lakers 3, Minnesota 6. Again, after the final game against the Blazers, JJ Redick discussed the matchup with Minnesota.
Very difficult opponent. They've played as well as anyone, lately, and I believe they're one of 4 teams in the top 10 in offense and defense. So they present a lot of problems.
You guys have only faced them the one time in February since trading for Luka, and even then, I think they were out for that matchup. I guess how do you anticipate going about the preparation, the scouting, just in terms of the matchup? We had games the last 6-7 weeks where we hadn't played the team since AD was on the team. We didn't have Luka, so we have a way of prepping based on previous games against Luka. We have a general idea of what their rules are, just like they have a general idea of what our rules are. So I don't think it doesn't necessarily matter that we don't have anything on tape with both teams at full strength.
JJ, you said that during the game you would worry about you'd control what you could control. Were you getting any updates about anything during the game? Was that something you had told people you just didn't want to know anything?
I accidentally got one. I literally. Bob had written down the Clippers score in the second half and on a box score, and I happened to come across it, and then I put it out of my brain, and then I just kept coaching. So, we got to watch the game just now. It was a fantastic game, and both those teams are really high level.
Along those lines, you've got your players are all in there together watching it. You're watching it together as a staff. Just kind of a unique situation to have that as your team building and different things like that, just shared experiences like that. What's the value in those things?
Yeah, a lot of value. We'll get together Tuesday night and watch the play-in together. We'll spend some time Tuesday, Wednesday introducing a little bit of playoff stuff, but it's not necessarily going to be everything at once this week. We'll have to slow drip. And I think that's the approach that I think is going to work best for our group. So Tuesday will be more about us. Wednesday we'll introduce Minnesota. It gives our coaching staff now, basically 3 full days. And then we can sort of map out what we want to do in terms of Minnesota prep Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I like that phrase. The matchups are set. He said slow drip. We're going to steal it. 2-2 during the regular season between the Lakers and the Timberwolves. But as we know, the playoffs are a whole nother beast. So obviously you kind of throw that out the window. What are your initial thoughts, expectations of this series between the two, the first round matchup? Rez, we'll start with you.
I think the Lakers should be favored, and they are if you look at most, Vegas sports books. I just like the depth of their team a little bit better than Minnesota's. They have better star power, I think, too. I guess the depth isn't the best way to say the Lakers' advantage because Minnesota has a good bench. But Naz Reid and DiVincenzo, a little bit more of a scoring duo than a defensive duo like the Lakers can offer with Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt coming off the bench. I'm excited. Ant-Man cracks me up. To me, this started last summer when he was like, yeah, I'm going to be the go-to guy on Team USA at the Olympics. And I like the definite braggadocio. I believe that's a word, BK?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
It's a word.
It didn't really happen that way. He was probably the 9th man on that team. But ever since those days, ever since that day, you realize this guy likes to be confident. I'm eager to see the series. It's going to be a fun one.
It's weird. There's a strange vibe around Minnesota because I think the feeling is like they took a step back this year because
weird slow start.
They had a slow start, and they had that big trade with Karl Anthony Towns before the beginning of the year. It took them a while to get going, and guys have been in and out of the lineup, but they still won 49 games, and they are a top 10 offense.
Yep.
They're a top 10 defense, and they have the 4th best point differential in the league, not in the conference, in the league. And so this is a very good team. The issue really becomes for the Lakers, like, what's more valuable, that sort of group stuff? Because 3 of the 4 best players in this series should be on the Lakers.
Yep.
That tends to matter more in the playoffs than sort of your strength 1 through 10.
We actually said that on the podcast. You said 3 of the top 4
I think so.
players?
Should be.
You were listening.
We are smart. And obviously the story within the story of Luka and the Western Conference Finals last year, which is in and of itself. But I do want to stick with the Lakers just for a moment, because then there's this element of LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves. It's been fun to watch. They haven't even played together that much over 2 months yet. They've had some good moments. They've had some not so great moments. But I think to just see it all now come to fruition and how it responds in the playoffs, I'm really excited to see that part.
Yeah, Allie, like the power, the star power is going to be there. And hey, the Lakers were fine with LeBron and AD and AR, but there was a degree of, I don't want to say predictability, they were solid, very solid. They won a championship together 5 years ago, LeBron and AD, obviously. But there wasn't that ceiling. It's a very high ceiling, I feel like, when you add a player like Luka Doncic. And BK, I just love how they're shooting like 75 threes a game now. Trying to score 160 every night. I mean, it is really fun to watch. I think the best part about this week is the fact that JJ can sit back and say, we're going to talk about ourselves one day. Then by Wednesday, we're going to get to Minnesota. Thursday, I don't know, maybe we'll go on a group trip to Universal Studios. Friday, whatever. And then we're finally playing Saturday.
Some yoga,
little
massage retreat.
Whatever they want. I mean, there's time because there's no play-in tournament for them.
There may be teams that benefit as much from the week off as the Lakers. No team's going to benefit more when your star is, one of them is 40 and the other one has had, let's say, a long year, coming back from injury, gets traded, completely blindsided by it, hasn't been completely healthy. And so this week off is going to benefit the Lakers tremendously. And then, like, this is not technically a stat, I don't think. Scientifically, there's no analytic behind it.
We like anecdotes.
The Lakers have 2 guys for whom playoff blank is a thing. Playoff your name here is a thing. Like, playoff LeBron is a thing that we just got to get to the playoffs, because then playoff LeBron comes out.